Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is me, your English instructor Muhammad Hasnain, once again with all of you people. Today we are going to be talking about the part 2 of one of my previous videos. As you guys remember, you guys has asked me a lot of times. You guys had asked me like 1,000 times for tips again and again and again and again, and I cannot refuse to give it to you guys because you guys are just my fans and I do not have other choices. So here I am once again for all of you people. Today we are going to be showing you 5 more points or 5 more tips for English learning. So let's get into our video and let's jump right into it. Number 1, join a local or any other type of group. Now, if in my case we do not have that local groups, you might have a club or something of yours. You might have that gym club type of place where you can talk with each other openly in English or in any other language. In my group is usually consisting of 2 people, either my colleagues or either my friends or classmates. These are the 2 type of people that consist of my groups. These both know English, how to speak English, and they both are good at it, really good at it, and I enjoy being with them. My friends, I talk about funny things, like childish things, like not that much big brain. You guys might think that my friends would be also some kind of like robot something. No, I'm also not a robot, they're also not a robot. We are normal. But the thing is that we just want to know more. We are like those type of kids who have learned to control themselves. And instead of wasting time on sports, even in sports periods, we usually try to enjoy our time talking about relativity or theories, or even lastly we talked about reality, etc. So we talk about that, and with my colleagues I talk about really complex things like theories, etc. Sometimes childish, sometimes really tough things like transcendentalism, existentialism, dystopian society, and these type of things. We used to talk about that. So join any kind of local or any other type of group that you might have. You guys can join it. You guys can open. The thing with groups is that you can be informal there with like exchange modules or exchange, for example, programs, language exchange programs. There is this big problem that you can speak, but you aren't open because you don't want to express who you are. You cannot express because you know it will have a bad impact to show that what type of person. But in a local group, they already know what type of a person you are, because you have already been for years there. You have been grown in the same society. So in local groups, they don't mind it that much if you say anything that is local. For example, if you say something Pakistani to a person who's native from America, so he will feel kind of like weird about you. He'll think you're a weirdo. But in Pakistan, if you say it, they'll be like, yeah, we do that too. Because it's normal. Some countries have their own traditions, and some countries consider some things weird, some countries consider it normal. Now, number 2, record yourself while speaking or while practicing or while doing anything. Record yourself. This will help you to understand your own language, understand your pronunciation, understand your way of speaking, your voice toughness, thickness, balance in your voice, your vocal cords, and like what your voice is usually about. Now, well, if I tell you my own, I can change my voice into whatever voice I want. I can make it either quite tough, or I can either make it quite a little bit, childish type of. I can change my voice. That's the simple thing. Control your vocal cords. When you understand to control your voice, you'll be really perfect. Your pronunciation will get to what I can say, perfect. That was just a joke. Jokes aside, yes, that is quite actually true. You can control your pronunciation, some pronunciation. Well, if I tell you my own, I am in love with British. I usually use British quite a lot, even unnoticing, like I don't notice how. Here on the channel I speak American because I know lots of people do not know how to speak British. Because the thing is, like, sometimes I unconsciously speak in British, but the thing is that in our course of Pakistan, books are in British and the speaking is in American, so that's why I speak in American. Other than that, sometimes I unconsciously speak. For example, in American we say quote, and in British we say quotes. And for example, we say a bottle of water in American and a bow of war in British. This is not a joke. I don't mean that joke. Yes, I know lots of people know about that joke. There is this joke in the internet which is a bow of war. But it's actually true. It's not a joke. Wednesday, bow of war. These are kind of like that jokes that became popular, but those are actually kind of like reality. They aren't just like people just saying things from their own self. Use English in your daily life. Now, if I tell you mine, I think in English, talk in English, learn in English, do everything in English. If I could have a choice, I could literally transform my society into an English society. Because I'm quite bad with Pushto and Urdu. Because I don't know how to express those feelings. I don't know how to say those words. Like, I have a shortage of words in these languages. But I have a vast majority of vast amount of prominent words and also quite unknown, unfamiliar words that I have with myself. Some are quite unfamiliar and some are quite common and some are quite important words that you might have heard. Like, there's a word that's really weird. It's not a word, it's like a combination of words. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Back in the day when I was a student, I remember this was really in the, really on the top. People who used to be able to speak this were considered to be the really cool type of people who could have really good pronunciation and really elder. Because I remember the seniors of the senior classes, the students of that classes were able to say this word, and we didn't even know the meaning at that time. I wasn't actually a junior ever, because my first class was also quite not junior, because I never studied the fully lower class. I never studied those type of classes. So you should record yourself and use English in your daily life. Because when you do that, for example, you can talk to your friends in English, you can talk to your family in English, you can think in English, you can learn in English. There are multiple different ways. Now, it's up to you which way you choose and which way you figure out. Get feedback from a teacher or from a senior. Now, when you get a feedback from your teacher or your senior, lots of time you don't even know the correct pronunciation. So when you listen to yourself, listen to your recording, so you might think it's correct. But it won't be correct because you don't even know the correct version of it. So that's why I'd rather prefer, instead of analyzing it on your own, instead of thinking on your own, first of all, go into Google, search the pronunciations there. And if not Google, then go to a teacher, Twitter, or instead a senior that is better at it than you. For example, you might have a class senior. You might be going to school, so you might have those senior classes. You can ask a boy from those classes. You can ask a teacher. You can ask anyone you want. But a person who is experienced, not someone that is as compared in the language as good as you. And the last one, practice regularly. This is the most important one. You have to practice regularly, because if you don't practice regularly, you won't be able to do anything. Because lots of people I've seen that follow my rules, but the thing is that they don't do it every day, and they aren't able to get the perfect results that I guarantee them. But if you don't get the results, it's not actually on me, because lots of people have seen that they follow my rules, but the thing is that they aren't regular with my rules. So my number one thing is, please be regular with them. Do it daily, do it regularly. When you do these things regularly, when you follow these tips regularly, you'll be able to get better in no time. And I guarantee you that. Thank you so much for being with me. This was all for our today's video of tips. And until my next video, thank you so much for being with me, and Allah Hafiz.